Today we're going to make a classic Calabash Bowl. It looks beautiful and it feels great in your hands.
Tim's American Beauty was made by Robust Tools, America's premier lathe manufacturer. Robust. Built to turn wood. Enjoyed for a lifetime.
Easy Wood Tools makes carbide tip turning tools, the Easy Chuck, beading cutters, live and drive centers, faceplates, and wire burning kits. Easy Wood Tools, easy to use, easy to own. A Calabash Bowl is a very classic shape. It's been around for thousands of years. It has a rounded bottom, so there's nothing flat to this at all. Everything is curved. It fits in your hands perfectly. It's been used as a food bowl, things like that for, like I said, millennia. But this is olive wood, gorgeous olive wood. As you know, my wife loves olive wood, and this came out of an olive wood blank, these two pieces, right? Well, this one was a little bit punky, and so we started doing the project with this piece of wood, and this one turned out to be a little bit punkier. So we did a video on what happened and the results of that. But so, stepping in, here's a beautiful piece of walnut that we're going to turn into a Calabash Bowl. Before we get started here, I want to thank our sponsors, Robust Lathes and Easy Wood Tools, because without their support, we wouldn't be here, and as you know, that'd be no fun. Now, if you're looking for a lathe, give me a call. I'm an authorized Robust dealer. It costs you nothing extra. I can just give you some advice. Whether or not you want to take it, that's up to you. And if you're looking for a great hollowing system or some measuring gauges and things like that, go to woodturningwithtim.com, and I have a bunch of stuff up there that I made personally myself that you might want to purchase. Anyway, let's get into our project. We've got this beautiful blank of walnut mounted on here, and we are going to rough it out. The grain, and I'm using a face mask because if you watch the other video we're going to put up with the olive wood blank, face masks are important. Until you know how the wood's going to react, this is really important. So the grain's running left to right, so I can use a roughing gouge on this. We'll see how it goes. On the other project, the wood was so punky I was scared of it, so I went with a bowl gouge. But we'll see how we do with the roughing gouge. If it gives me too much kickback, you know, I'll stop and move to a bowl gouge. We got a little bit of out around here, so we're just going to go real slow, about 150 RPM. And we're just going to round this out. Now, it's not the fastest thing in the world, but it does work. And you can see we're taking chips of wood there. We're not scraping, we're cutting. So it's working really good. And the bowl gouge is, the roughing gouge is heavy. So it gives you a lot of strength while you're doing this process. So give me a minute, and once this is rounded out, we'll start working on the rest of the Calabash Bowl. So I went ahead and I turned a tenon on here already. The next thing is the shape, and that's what the Calabash Bowl is all about, is shape. You want flow all the way with it. It is a curve that goes from one side to the other. No flat lines whatsoever. This area in here is a little steeper curve because it does have to sit. This is also a little thicker on the bottom, so it doesn't want to roll over. But it's kind of up to you on how that shape comes out, and each piece of wood is different. This turns out to be a very, very solid, safe piece of walnut, so I'm going back to my goggles. And now I'm going to start shaping. I'm going to shape the top, but I want to work myself to an arc here, and I might have a lot of wood left over at the base, but that's okay. We have to get the shape correct. So I'm going to take my bowl gouge, and I'm going to get a cut going, and I'm just going to let it kind of flow. This is pretty dry walnut. It's been sitting around the shop for quite a while, so it's not as fun as cutting green wood, but it's still good wood to cut. I love walnut. Walnut doesn't love me. I'm a little sensitive to it. So we're going to come back here and start finding our axis, our center high spot. And actually, I want the high spot to be a little bit below center, so I want this to be a squatty thing. So this just be a little bit of fishing around, trying to find the look and the shape I want. But right now, judging by this, the bottom's going to be somewhere in here. And you can always take a little extra wood off if you need, so don't worry about wasting any in this process. You just want it to look right. Okay, now we're kind of getting into something that looks a little bit right. So we're going to waste a bit of the bottom, that's for sure. But we want a flow here on the sides that goes right. if you look at this, now I'll probably show it to you better, Brian. See how that nice arc is in there? I haven't got that quite yet, so it's going to take nibbling away a little bit longer to get that there where I want it. And if you take really big, really deep cuts, you're going to kind of tear up the grain of the wood and might cause more sanding. So patience is your friend. Just keep working on it until it's where you want it. So I'm going to work on this a little bit more, and then we'll get it to where we can turn around and start hollowing it out. So we've turned it around, we're in the chuck now, and I want to turn this back on. Pick speed up. Anytime you re-chuck something like this, it's going to be a little bit out around, so I'm going to clean it up here. Do a pull cut, and just see if I can get it smoothed out. A little bit of jiggling until you get down to solid wood and hitting on all pieces, because it's jumping because it's hitting the other pieces. It's jumping because it's hitting the higher spots and not the lower spots. There we go. That's good. I could have done a push or pull cut to do this, but I wanted to see if I could do it like this, which is actually kind of working really well. So the shape, again, is what this is all about. We're going to get this shape exactly where I want it. We're going to sand it. The outside's going to be done, and then we're going to hollow it out using a bowl gouge and a scraper. Down here, we have our shape. It's not perfect right now, but I'm still getting there. But I do want, like I said, a perfect flow all the way through. And the camera is warping this a little bit, I'm sure. So trust me, it looks a lot better than you're thinking it looks. So as I come down here on the bottom, I have to accelerate the curve inward. So I'm going to take a little bit of wood out. And I'm going to come back in with a push cut, and it's right about here that we're going to take this and start diving in quicker, like so. And we could probably flatten that out a little bit more. So in your mind's eye now, it's going to end right about there, but we've got this wider base now set up, and that looks good. So I'm going to obviously futz with this a little bit more, being a perfectionist, and then I'm going to sand it, and we'll start hollowing the inside. Okay, so right now I'm using my bowl gouge to hollow this out. You could use a hollowing system, but you can pretty much reach in with a bowl gouge and hit all the spots you need. Along with a good scraper, you should be good. The only difference I'm finding is that olive wood is much nicer to hollow out. This walnut's good, but it's a little dry. So it's going to take me a few minutes to get through all this. And once I do, we'll measure as we go to make sure I keep the walls the same thickness. And you could probably drill out the center. Brian suggested that, and I didn't think about it till now. And that would help you out a lot too. But anyway, this will take a little bit, and once I get done with that, we'll clean up the inside a bit more. Yeah, you were right. Feel better, Brian? What the heck is Tim doing, huh? Well, since I'm not using a hollowing system, I need to use, and I'm using the bowl gouge, I have to take a different approach. If I came in with the tool turned like this and went in, I'm going straight into end grain. Really tough to control. If I turn the tool all the way over like this and barely open it up, I can do a push cut across the grain, like so. I come across this way, nice clean cut. It is catchy though, you can get in trouble. The other thing is, I can't swing this out from the other side with my arm and keep good control, so I'm just sitting on the lathe and I'm just feeding the tool in and just take a gentle cut like so, and it takes nice little shavings. I'm sneaking up on the thickness of my wall. I'll probably leave it just a little bit shy and come back with the scraper here in a minute, and I'll show you how we do that, but that'll clean up all the insides. Oh yeah, and drilling the hole did work. Problem is, Brian's right more often than I am. So I'm using a D-Way negative rake scraper here, really heavy one. And so that allows me to go into this with the confidence that I'm not going to get a catch and blow this up. So I'm just using it to follow the curve and smooth the inside out, and the curve of the tool helps me a lot with that. The other thing, what is below the tool is an amazing tool rest made by Robust. Little skinny one with an arm on the inside. It makes doing stuff like this a whole lot easier because your tool doesn't hang way out. You're on a tool rest all the way down in there and then it curves. So I'll clean this up a little bit and then we're going to figure out how to get this off of the lathe. So now I'm trying to just accelerate the curve on the bottom to not go flat, but to dive in really quickly because you need kind of a wide surface for it to sit. But at the same time, you don't want it to be flat because it's got a rock. And I'm only going to go so far, and I'm going to take this over to the bandsaw and cut the remainder off, and then come back here and sand it on the lathe to smooth it out. Okay, so after thinking about it, it's probably a little safer just to do this on the lathe with a little pull saw. If I took this over to the bandsaw, this is round. I don't think it would roll, but it could roll, and that wouldn't be fun because we've worked way too hard to get to this point. Let's see, a couple more pulls here. There we go. So I'm going to sand that off and then maybe put a finish on it. We'll see. Okay, so I'm going to use some mineral oil here, and guess what? Who would have thought I've been so lucky to get two punky pieces of wood today? So this one started falling apart too, but you can't win. But hey, it gives it character, so I kind of wallowed it out a little bit to make it look like it's an antique. So let's see what the reveal will be. Whoa. Just look what the mineral oil does to that walnut. Isn't that cool? That is so beautiful. This is really fun, and I love the fact that a Calabash Bowl is meant to rock. These came out perfectly. So I think you guys got to try doing this project. So until the next time on Wood Turning, keep turning.
Tim's American Beauty was made by Robust Tools, America's premier lathe manufacturer. Robust. Built to turn wood. Enjoyed for a lifetime.
Easy Wood Tools makes carbide tip turning tools, the Easy Chuck, beating cutters, live and drive centers, faceplates, and wire burning kits. Easy Wood Tools, easy to use, easy to own.